Rivera with a special on the Sacco-Vanzetti trial. It was a crisp, sunny afternoon in South Braintree, Mass. The time, 1:30. The date, April 15, 1920. Two guards are on a routine payroll delivery. They pull up to a shoe factory and proceed towards the door. Suddenly, two armed men jump out from behind a building. They shoot the guards and steal the payroll. They make their getaway in a car containing 3 other men. Who could commit such a brutal act? That's what the police were wondering, until about 3 weeks later, when 2 men were arrested for attempting to take a stolen car, and later were identified as the 2 murderers. Those 2 men were Nikolai Sacco and Bartolomeo Vanzetti, and this is their troubling and mysterious tale. Nicola Sacco immigrated to the U.S. when he was 17. He became educated in the shoe trade and shortly afterwards began working for a local factory. He married, fathered a son, and seemed to be building a secure and stable life. Vanzetti, on the other hand, was a bachelor and a wanderer. He, too, had immigrated to the U.S. in his early manhood and began to work as a kitchen helper. It was here that he met Mr. Nicola Sacco. Both were committed to anarchist ways of brotherhood, peace, and plenty without government, and both moved in the same circle. Sometimes they distributed anarchist literature. Such were the circumstances of the 2 men's lives when they were arrested and charged for the shoe factory murder and robbery. At the time of their arrest, both were armed but claimed they knew nothing of the crime. A year later, Sacco and Vanzetti went on trial in Dedham, which turned into a complicated legal struggle between the prosecutor and Fred H. Moore, the defendant's attorney. After more than 6 weeks of listening to witnesses, to the presentation of ballistics evidence, and to grueling cross-examination and closing speeches, the jury returned the verdicts of guilty for both men. During the next 6 years, an array of anarchists with the Sacco-Vanzetti Defense Committee reshaped the public image of the case in a political and ideological rather than legal controversy. Their defense was that the trial had taken place in a fearful atmosphere, filled with repression, and the jury, along with Judge Webster Thayer, had been prejudiced against the defendants. Therefore, Sacco and Vanzetti stood convicted not because of the evidence, but because of their radical and political beliefs. Taking this tact gradually increased and played upon the public's sympathy. The credibility of the evidence was questioned, and a number of witnesses repudiated their identification. But, despite the defense lawyers' pleas and motions for a new trial, Sacco and Vanzetti were, on April 9, 1927, sentenced to die in the electric chair. is Geraldo Rivera on the scene, the death scene. You are here at the site. Sir? Sir? Here we are again. This is the electric chair. Looks simple enough, doesn't it? But it is a deadly chair. It is frightening sitting here. My nose hurts. Oh, blood. Well, you've seen it. What do you think? Innocent or guilty? You decide. This is Geraldo Rivera, signing off.